Hi, my name is Tywanda, and I just wanted to. I don't see why I should have to repeat this again, at least. So I'm just going to play what I've already released. Hi, my name is Tywanda Lovelace, and I represent Seven West Productions LLC. And I just wanted to say, I know I've dropped some recordings on some podcasts lately. I do want to let you know that those were recorded months ago. And although I do mean what I say in those recordings, I believe that, a loved one brought it to my attention that they know me, and I don't have very many loved ones left. But I do have to express that I am a very passionate person, and it is important that I clearly express that this is not just about some disgruntled artist or revenge or anything like that. This is not about me being haughty or thinking too much of myself, because even after going through, you just don't know, for decades, I'm still a very down-to-earth person. Yes, I do come across angry in those, but I have reason to be. But basically, not only am I down-to-earth, to be honest, I'm not a materialistic person. Yes, I do come across very hostile and angry when I talk about what has been allowed to transpire. But those podcasts, again, were previously recorded months ago, and yes, it is meant to get your attention, to let you know that this is not what some would lead you to believe that it is. I understand that, a lot of people believe that they have a full understanding of this situation, but trust me, you only have one side. And just like anyone else, even though I am trying to conduct business, I am a human being. And I feel that it's important, even if people don't have a full understanding, it is important for me to explain as clearly as possible, the situation, so that it cannot be misrepresented. Because that's pretty much how I got here. I noticed in my last blog, that I mentioned about, you have your preconceived notions of what you automatically believe, that when a person doesn't make it or doesn't succeed at something, it's something that they did wrong, or they didn't take care, especially with the music industry. They didn't copyright, or they didn't have representation. There's so many reasons why, but again, as my recording states, it's not just a simple matter of that. Now, I agree that I should have some kind of introduction, so therefore it doesn't just look like, oh, the angry lady's ranting again, who cares, because that automatically is going to push you away. But at the same time, you have to consider the urgency of the situation. You have to consider that there's so many other things that are pulling our youth to place themselves in a position, and I don't have anything wrong. I don't have anything against someone wanting to be an artist. I think it's beautiful. We're all talented. We all have something that we're good at. There are a lot of talent out there, young and old alike. But at the same time, they don't know. They haven't experienced it. There are a lot of things that, like I said, when I was sitting in my demo tapes, that I did not know. And now you have so many more outlets that you can, get your music out there. I still think that people should be aware of both sides, the downside as well, or should I say the business end as well. So when I started this business, of course, I was on the receiving end of some treachery. And, but again, my situation was not where I didn't have copyrights. But getting back, folks, I don't want to start reading and ranting again, but basically I just wanted to address the fact that when you hear those demos or these podcasts, it is meant to make you understand that everything is not always as it's presented to you. And I come across a little forceful because I am passionate about it. I really have a lot to say on the subject where I've never been given a forum or never really clearly expressed it. Oh yes, I'm definitely upset. Definitely, because anyone would be if they gave their songs to someone that was supposed to look out for them, whatever the situation was. But I think it is best for me to stay professional, and if I am going to release the podcast, which I do agree with every word I say in them, I think that they should come with an introduction so that you can see that I am a 24/7, although I am definitely always thinking about what has been done because it had such an impact on my life. It's having a crippling effect, actually. But these podcasts were recorded, and they were written actually years ago. But as I reflect and read them, when you go through something and you hash it or rehash it again, you actually feel this. You have to feel it. If you're a human being, you're going to feel it if you're reflecting on it. I'm in a position where I can help. Yes, I still need help. But the fact of the matter is, this is information that I wish I had a third of. No one provided any of the information that I'm giving you now. Even the people that wrote the books before, no one has ever broken it down to the point where, okay, yeah, I see it now. It's not just to discourage you, it's to prepare you so that you won't, instead of running and showing them, oh, I can do this and that, and giving them 10 songs, give them the one and let them work with it. That way you can build a relationship. It takes time. Okay, now, other little things that I mentioned in my blogs, they're meant to help you, to make you think. You don't have to do what anyone says, but you also don't have to accept what other people say either. Just see for yourself. And that's what I do with my publications. I try to show you and give you an example of what was done. I actually give you proof and show you in the contract what parts of the contract that you want to look out for. Things of that nature. But I'm going to go ahead and, I'm going to add the same podcast back onto this one.
And I'm going to stop it right there. I think that says a mouthful. I've tried to read from a paper, my thoughts, of course, and I can't help because I'm so personally affected to really, like I said, feel every moment of it, every time I go to speak on it. Now, I don't want to be one of those people that lives in the past or stuck in the past in terms of, yes, they took my music and yes, they never paid me. It's a little bit more to it than that. The past is, if I was in a position where, okay, look, I got my rights, I took care of my business, I should be able to go to court and sue, at least. Those are your recourses. But to tell someone that they don't have any recourses, to put them in a situation without any discussion whatsoever. Nobody's ever said anything to me. I woke up like this, literally. And I have no idea of exactly all of what has been done, but I am able to express what has happened to me that I've seen in my experiences. And I know that I'm not responsible for all of the things that, that are happening that people have inadvertently told me that, there is things going on and that I'm supposed to be responsible or at the heart of them. And that's not true. It's not. And I don't want to hear anything about family. That woman, my family has their own goals. They chose to betray. They chose to lie and manipulate. Okay, I don't have to lie. I'm a grown woman and I know what I've done wrong as an adult, and I have never done anything to merit this right here. I've never done anything to merit not being able to, but people can just do whatever they want to do to you and you don't have no recourse whatsoever. They just put you in a situation and you're just supposed to just be stuck here. No recourse. You can't use the courts because they bought the courts. You can't get representation because people are fighting in the streets and personal vendettas or whatever. You can't get any help because people are judging you because they have access. That's just like saying, okay, here, I'm going to give you to your enemies. Let's see how long you survive. That's basically what this game is. Because nobody should have access to you as an individual. Nobody should be able to block your mail, your emails. Nobody should be able to stop you from obtaining legal representation. And if you go to requestforlegalhelp.com, you'll see that that's exactly what's happening. And I haven't done anything to merit that. Now, these people here locally, and I do have to acknowledge the fact that, yes, when I came out here from Detroit, a lot of the people that were involved in that music mess came out here too. And like I said in my my introduction, where I wasn't able to finish on my other interview, which I'm going to have to probably cut and paste or splice together. I don't know how to do it, but I'm going to figure it out. But basically, my program And what I'm doing is different from any other program that anyone's ever done. In terms of, we're not going to just tell you information, the basic general information. We're not going to say, oh, it's who you're with. It's not, or how much money you got. It's more to it than that. Like I said, this program is going to, it's not to deter you, but it's to educate you. But basically, it's, let me find the information where I was here. But basically, it's not the same. Because what will happen is in real life, they're not going to tell you that just because you copyright, your copyrights mean nothing. I can tell you that right now. They mean absolutely nothing if you don't have a lawyer to take care of it. And you know why? And if you can't get the courts to acknowledge them. Because the courts will look at that paper and pretend like they don't see it and find some other reason to lie and pretend as if you didn't do something you were supposed to do. That I have proof of. Requestforlegalhelp.com. If you want to know more about the program, Platinum program, to get the information, that's if you're an organization and you want to make sure that your people are aware or your youth is aware, because they're gonna seek it anyway. They're going to try to go, because the whole world glorifies and personifies it. So they're going to try to pursue a career in that business at some point or another. And to just tell someone no, they can't do something, you see that's not working out. They're going to do what they want to do anyway. So the least you can do is prepare them. Let them know that you care and that you understand that they want this. And if they want that, you're going to support them. But you want them to at least know what to look for in the contract, how to recognize if you're on the right track even. Are you working with the right people? If you are to the point where you sign a contract, you want to know how do you find your legal help? Because there's a ginormous problem with conflict of interest in the music industry that no one is addressing. No one even tries to address. And they're going to try to pretend as if you're in some kind of competition of some kind or another. It's all crap. It's like a fixed game. I mean, are you going to sit up and play a game where you can see the judges and hear the judges at the end of the table talking about something? Yeah, we're not voting for her. We don't like her. Yeah, I don't like her. Yeah, I know her cousin. Yeah, no, I don't like the way she walks. No, she looks at me funny. I don't like the way she sounds. But you already know that the vote is in for someone else. Are you going to still go through every hurdle and every obstacle knowing, no, you're going to find another game? And basically, that's what I encourage you to do before you jump into it. You need to find out what the game is and at least know what you're dealing with before you just jump in with both feet. Those contracts, those standard contracts, don't buy that. Look in that contract and compare it to what you'll find in these publications. There's parts of those contracts in there that you want to make sure that they take out, because all it is giving them a license to take your stuff. There's a part in the contract that addresses your creativity and, as far as whether or not they pursue any allegations of copyright infringements or any type of infringements on your work. If you sign that contract the way it is, you may as well say you're giving them the free work. So I'm letting you know that you need to look at this book, because this book is going to give you verbatim, showing you documents, pages, what parts of the contracts to look out for when you do get it. It's going to let you know exactly what you need to do. Now, my situation, like I said, is different. Everybody's situation may differ, but the game is the same, I assure you. So thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. And if you can help me get to someone who can send an email without it being bounced back, or someone that will at least recognize that I am a human being and I have rights, so that anybody can't just do whatever they want to do to me and there's no recourse, I would appreciate it if you could get them in touch with me somehow. Sometimes my phone rings, sometimes it doesn't. So I'm asking you to keep trying. I'm Taiwanda Lovelace at Yahoo, Taiwanda Lovelace at Gmail, Taiwanda Lovelace at Outlook, Taiwanda Lovelace at iCloud. 7 West Productions, all spelled out with the SEVEN. There's got to be a way for you to contact me, and I am open to international assistance as well, because I've been here in the United States for quite some time now, and no one is trying to help me. And no one has told me anything about what's going on or why I have to be subjected to all of this public scrutiny. I've never hurt anyone. I've never hurt a child in my life. So I don't know whoever started that rumor up about me being a pedophile, and now I can't go places without people throwing diapers by my car or calling me all kind of names. I don't hurt people. I have never heard anybody like this before in my life. I don't understand why somebody would have to be judged like this. I'm asking for help because the people that are in my life are helping the other people rob me and then running behind me and talking about robberies and how I've been beat out of my stuff. And I don't appreciate it. Not at all. So I'm asking for some help again for the 15th millionth time because I'm not going anywhere. All I'm going to do is end up going to the press and the news and the media. If you can get this to them, I'd appreciate it. But I'm definitely heading in that direction because all my life I have been stripped of everything. And I didn't do anything. My father may have been allegedly convicted. And if you read that story, the background on that, there's something shady there too. Something very shady. And about my mother helping, for someone to give birth to someone and let somebody, all this family mess that's going on, I want to be free from it, period. But there's a lot of treachery going on, and I've done my websites. If you have time, go to requestforlegalhelp.com. As a matter of fact, let me make sure it's still up and running right now because, even though I own the website, which I found that I had to do because when I get those websites through those other companies, they would change my websites. I mean, it was a mess. They would change my websites, take my information off, limit it. I'd have competition when I tried to sell my books through eBay and Amazon. All of a sudden, there was mysterious sellers that were selling it cheaper than me, and I have proof of that too. Just go to requestforlegalhelp.com. I mean, every major entity there is. It's like I'm the devil or something because I want some rights. But okay, here's my one website is up. Oh, I guess you can't really see it on this phone. Oh no, you can't. You can't really film another phone from another phone. Okay, that's one of them. Well, let me check for requestforlegalhelp.com. There it is, requestforlegalhelp.com. I haven't checked it in a while, but I have to periodically because people will take your stuff down in a heartbeat. Okay, now this one is really cute, but it's really for attorneys, so I don't do a lot of SEO or to make sure that it gets on Google, because to be honest, I don't. But in a little while, I'm going to have to, because I'm not getting the response that I need. And that's because my emails are being blocked. And if they're not blocked, there's situations that are being done or happening in the public because someone has given the public access without my permission or without telling me anything. But every time I get close to trying to get some kind of resolution, I have to go through some horrible ordeal, or the public spreads lies about me being responsible for loss of life, and that is not true. I've never hurt anybody. But people, if you're in a situation and people can manipulate certain situations, that's what they do. And then the public sucks it up. And yes, I don't have a good attitude about being oppressed. Nobody would. If you had everybody that ever been in your life use their access to do you in, to rob you, or to be paid. I've had people tell me they were paid to be my friend so they can get close to me and do all kind of God knows what filth. Which is why I separate myself. If you know, my phone ain't even ring. My phone does not ring. Nobody calls me. I have one friend, and I felt so bad because I just straight up asked her, what was her goal? Because nobody has ever done anything right by me. Like, I'm just deserving of all this evil. But anyway, if you go to the website, you'll see some of the information there. And if you could get me some information, I would really appreciate it as to who I need to contact. Because I've contacted every agency, every governmental entity that's supposed to be able to help, and that have been actually the letter I got, the most recent letter I got, it says it's from the Department of Justice, but it's not signed officially. It has the wrong zip code, so somebody's doing a lot of mail tampering and fraud, all kind of mess. And I don't really want to, I don't like to deal with no mess like this. I've gone into the FBI office because they have done God knows what to me. If somebody did anything they wanted to do to you, and then you got to run back and have the public running behind you talking about trains or how people raped you and you were asleep and all kind of mess, that is wrong. And that is what's happening. All because of where I come from, Detroit, that's where it started. Then it went all the way to Georgia and then all the way to Las Vegas. That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense whatsoever, and I need my freedom, period. I need my freedom from this mess. But basically, if you go to the website, it looks like it's up, but that doesn't mean anything. They got this high-tech stuff going on so strong, but there's a reason. Somebody's not contacting me, and I haven't heard anybody. And the last time I heard, they said the reason why I wasn't getting response is because they hurt people or something for getting involved, because it is a lot of money involved. It's millions and millions of dollars. And they would rather give somebody one or two that don't deserve it than to give the person that they're supposed to pay what they're supposed to pay, because they're greedy and vengeful. And that don't make no sense. When I busted them out about that deal back in doggone, back in the day with the music, all I did was step up for my work. If you write something, you copywrote it, and you step up for it, you should be able to do that. You should not have to fight everybody and their daddy because they don't feel like you worked hard enough or you don't deserve it. Like I said, I can't stand up on one leg with my back twisted and my neck turned this way just to make somebody freaking happy for 30 years. That's ridiculous. But anyway, my name is Tywanda Lovelace. Today is actually November 27th. It's Thanksgiving Day. I spent all night and all day cooking for my immediate family. And of course, they went over somebody else's house to have fun because obviously I'm not popular. But I enjoyed my dinner, and I got to get back to work, trying to figure out how to get free from these maniacs. But again, let me clarify. No one has ever said anything to me as to why my rights to privacy has to be violated, why I have to be in this situation, why I have to not have no rights, why I can't send an email, and why I can't mail a letter without it being hindered. You can see it on requestforlegalhelp.com. And now, I have young people running around talking about something that's so sad because everybody else knows what they're doing to me, but nobody is doing anything. And this is the United States in 2015. I'm going to close with that.